Electric craze, you win, you lose, the screen displays. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Pinball clatters, jackpot rings, 8-bit world where power springs. Twists hum, the chaos sings, forever young on timeless wings. Press start to play. The night won't decay. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade.
Hello and welcome to the Retro Legends Arcade. Got a really fun show lined up for you tonight, and we got some huge AtGames news and some scoops I'm going to reveal on the show. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge the people that played in our tournaments this week. There are free tournaments every week that I do for the love, for free, for the community. These tournaments are open. They're not gate kept. They're not hidden behind a Discord, and they're for everyone to play. And I just want to shout out the people that played this week. Let's take a look at the scores. We had a lot of action this week, and I promise we have some really good AtGames scoops that I'm going to be dropping. But first, before I do that, I always want to pay respect to the gamers, the players, people that play games every week, people that aren't afraid to drop a score. And I want to shout out my first two tournaments, Attack from Mars and the Elvira tournament. Now, when I do a tournament, I will lock these permanently. And these will be permanently locked on the leaderboard. So I have a little lock on them, so you won't be able to put scores in them. But the rest of these games, they're up there for everyone to enjoy and just add scores to. And I like it because it's a permanent record and a visual way for me to go back and look and see, how did I do on these games? Am I improving? Am I getting any better? And we had a great week of gaming. We played, and first of all, let me say a shout out to someone that finally got his clean sweep. This is the week he did it. Shout out to Sacro with a clean sweep of the leaderboard. 1, 2, 3, 3 pinballs from AtGames, Double Dragon classic arcade game, and VR or Star Wars pinball. So he is truly a Renaissance gamer. To sweep these leaderboards took a lot because there were a lot of players that played this week. Start off with Double Dragon. We had T. McCloskey put in a score, 6,500. I played. I got 9,370. We had Saiyan Spirits. Thanks for playing, Saiyan Spirits. 21,190. Sacro for the win with 22,770. When we play arcade games, it's single quarter, no continues. Then we played the 3 AtGames games that were in the Flipper Friends. We played Shooting the Rapids Deluxe, Supersonic, and Circus Remake. Really did fall in love with Circus Remake, a great game. I didn't update my score. I did better than that, but we had me, Jay, T. McCloskey, Wingo, Bliss, 2121, Ballydern, and Sacro. Well played. We had Supersonic, Bliss, 2121, Jay, T. McCloskey, me, Wingo, Ballydern, and Sacro. We had Shooting the Rapids Deluxe. This one for me I struggled with, but I did finally end up getting a good score for me, but not good overall for the competition, but pretty good for me. On all 3 games, I got personal bests. So Bliss 2121, T. McCloskey, J, Wingo, Ballydern, me, and Sacro. We played Star Wars Droids, which was awesome. I played that in VR. I came in dead last, but I had a fun time playing. Bliss 2121, Ballydern, and Sacro with a massive 212 million score. This will be this week's games: Han Solo Pinball, World Cup Soccer, which is going to be part of our Zen news. A lot of drama going on with that. World Cup Soccer is going to be gone, so I put it in the tournament one more time. Supersonic EM Plus, Space Shuttle Deluxe, Time Machine Remake, and the classic arcade game Make Trax from Williams. So that being said, let me say hello to everyone. Welcome to the show, Sacro. Good to see you. Welcome to show Bliss 2121. Welcome to show Calvin Wong. Good to see you. We got Ray Latori here. That's a heck of an intro. Thank you so much. Yeah, I spend forever on my intros. I spent a long time making them. And let's see, we got Sacro. He's got a red face. I don't know what that means, but maybe you can let me know. But anyway, we got new games already. These are all active and live right now. And with that being said, I'm going to remove this for a second. And I'm going to introduce our arcade game for the week with a very, very short clip. I think this clip is like 1 minute, if that. But I do want to show a quick little clip of Make Trax because it's going to get buried in the show. And so let me just show my quick clip. This week in the Retro Legends Arcade. Let's play some Make Trax. It's a fantastic game. Williams arcade game, classic, 1981. Sometimes it's known as Crush Roller. Super fun maze game. This week in the Retro Legends Arcade, Make Trax. Let's go. I am going to do a produced piece of content for that. I haven't gotten around to it, but it is a great game. Basically, you're a paintbrush and animals come out and they make tracks and you got to try to paint the whole screen. It's kind of like a reverse Pac-Man, but it's a super cool game. And I don't think anyone has challenging Wheat. I know. I mean, we really put the games in. We put some really good games, and I think we're going to duplicate it in this week. We've got some really great games that we're going to be playing. Huge shout out to Carl O. Good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the stream. It was a tough week, and I'm loving the new Flipper Friends. It's very challenging, and I was playing all the way up to pretty much the very end to keep in the top 10 because it's so competitive. There's so many good players at the upper end of it. We got Ray De La Torre here. Hey, what's up? We got Mikey Yoon. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday, everyone. He's packing to leave for Korea tomorrow night. He's going on vacation. Have a great vacation, Mikey Yoon. And I'm not gonna. Let's get to the meat because this is the stuff people are gonna want to hear. We're gonna talk a lot about AtGames. Here we go. Okay, what happened? Where am I? Why did I disappear? Hold on. Have me back in. Let's see. I'm trying to do something. Just 1 second. Let me add this to stage. And then I want to make it like this. There we go. Okay, so yes, absolutely. And we got a $2 super chat from Ray De La Torre. Thank you so much. Appreciate the $2 that will go to help the channel. And let me give you a quick little fun. Let me give you a fun one. Let's see. Let's see if I got a fun one here. Let's go with. I need to get one of those little buttons that you press where it just shows a super chat. Let's see. I don't get that many super chats to do that though. So we'll just go with this one. This one's short. Thank you so much. That was a little Psylocke action. Let me get this off the screen here. Oh, yeah. We're talking about the X-Men. Okay. AtGames. Now, if you know anything about AtGames pretty much, they keep most YouTubers in the dark. I'm pretty tight with AtGames, so I get a little bit more scoop than some people. And I'm going to spill a little bit of knowledge. Okay. There's been a lot of drama about Zen and AtGames. And let's just go through the Facebook because this will be, we'll just react on each thing. First off, we'll just start at the top. And I know something's going to drop. It might even drop tonight. That's going to change everything. So we have Flipper Friends, Season 7, Week 2. These are the 3 games: Space Shuttle Deluxe, Time Machine, and Supersonic EM Plus. We'll talk about that in a bit. We'll come back. We're going to come back to Police Street Patrol with some great coverage that you're not going to see anywhere else. Supersonic EM Plus just came out. They have another sale, the March Spring Sale, up to 80% off. We have the Cowabunga Early Bird Event. That's a deal on the HDP Pinball. We're going to get back to that. Let's get to the juicy part. I believe this is the juicy one here. So let's go to this one. This is the one people are going to want to see. Let me open this up. Let's see. How do I open this up? See more. Okay. Let me see here. I'm trying to keep the chat where I can do it. I'm trying to keep up with the chat too. Okay, so y'all playing Resident Evil? Man, I love Resident Evil. I've not played any of the new Resident Evil games, but I do love Resident Evil, the series. I've played all the Resident. I haven't played the new stuff though, but I do love the Resident Evil games. So I should definitely check out these new Resident Evil games. It sounds like they're really good. But let's talk about some AtGames. I'm just going to read this and we'll take it chunk by chunk. Okay. AtGames, milestone unlocked from the original ALP to the TMNT HDP. In the upcoming 4KP, AtGames is expanding the ultimate pinball universe, affordable, legendary, and next level. Okay. We are thrilled to announce a significant milestone, the general release of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle TMNT Arcade Legends Pinball at the AtGames eStore. Launching on May 19th to celebrate National Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Day. This follows a highly successful launch at Sam's Club in 2025. So I did have a slide actually for that. So let me throw that in real quick. I could pretend that I'm actually a YouTuber. So let's see if I can find my slide. Somewhere in here I had a slide. There it is. Boom. Okay, so they have this deal up right now. The HDP Pinball, which is the smoothest playing AtGames pinball machine. The frame rate is the fastest because you're running the 4K hardware and you're running at lower resolution. So if you're talking about smoothness of gameplay with the stock tables, this is the smoothest playing machine that they offer. They have it for $1,200, and they're actually going to send you the SSF kit for free, for free. And they're gonna unlock all the extra goodies. So if you want to do extra things down the road, if you want to do things that are exciting, like use your computer to play pinball on this HDP, you could use a computer and play every Zen pinball table ever made. You can play VPX, all that's all unlocked for free. That's $200 there. Then they're throwing in the SSF kit. That's $500. That's $700 off. Then they're throwing in some pinball net. Like it, don't like it. It's still basically most of the collection of tables unlocked for 3 months for free. So you can play some of the Zaccaria tables, the Magic Pixel tables, find out the ones you like, and it's all for free for 3 months. I actually went with Pinball Net on my HDP. I didn't rebuy all my tables. I don't really need to rebuy them. I can just do the Pinball Net. I'm fine with that. It's all online connected anyway. So for me, it didn't matter to me. I just went with the Pinball Net. But this is a great machine for the money. For $1,200, it's a nice machine. It's got beautiful art. I love the purple. And this is the best playing AtGames Pinball. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to want to hear that, but it has the smoothest frame rate. And it's mainly because you're running the HD 4K hardware at lower resolution. And that's how pinball works. The more you crank up that resolution, the more the hardware suffers. And so let me continue reading. Let me go back to the good stuff. Let's see. I'll keep myself in the corner here. I'm going to try to check in with the chat real quick, too. This is pretty challenging for me. We got Mad Ben Hand, the #1 AtGames pinball player in the world, in the chat. Is Zen coming to this? 100% Zen will be coming to the Turtles HDP. 100%. They even announced an Addams family version of it. Now, if you know, now I go way back. I've had every AtGames machine. I've had them all. Going all the way back to the original HD pinballs when I got into it. I bought 2 pinballs at one time. I bought an arcade one-up, Attack from Mars, and I bought a AtGames HD pinball at the same time. And I bought every single table with my own money on my HD pinball. Okay. So I've been in AtGames for a long time. And I'm going to go back to hey, greetings. Good to see Ben here. But AtGames, when they launched the 4KP, what did they launch with? Addams Family. I remember all the big home arcade YouTubers were like, that's all they're going to get. That's all they're going to get is Addams Family. They're not going to get anything else. And guess what? We got 90% of the good games. We got tons of Williams games that were fantastic. Attack from Mars, Twilight Zone, even some of the big licensed games that are more challenging. We got Star Trek Next Generation. We got Tomb Raider, So is Zen going to come to it? I think they're definitely a partner with AtGames. And we're going to continue with this, but I'm going to tell you right now, I believe 100% that the HDP will have Zen tables, 100%. Now, the 8th game, Ray Latour says this AtGames HDP is the cheapest way to getting into VPX. And I will say this, if you're going to buy an AtGames pinball, I would recommend getting the SSF kit, because the SSF kit is the game changer. The way it rattles and the feeling of the ball, the vibrations moving around the cabinet, it's amazing. And it's because there's pieces that are screwed into the actual wood of the cabinet. When that ball is rolling around, the surround sound is designed for the pinball cabinet. And it's the same exact pinball cabinet that the 4KP has. There's no difference. It's the exact same SSF kit. So just if you look at the value of the SSF kit and the pinball for $1,200, it's a no-brainer. This is going to be one of the best deals in home pinball for a starter good quality pinball cabinet. Okay. Now we're going to talk about 3 different levels. And just hold on, I'm going to get to it. But Pinball Net puts you into a raffle on the micro for a micro. That's true. The Pinball Net does put you in a raffle. You might win a micro. Okay, but it's still a big savings, Mikey. Even with $130 shipping. I'll tell you what, go try to ship something and see what it costs. It is unbelievable. $130 to ship something as heavy as an AtGames Pinball and an SSF kit. They're also talking about an SSF kit in there. That's pretty reasonable. So, yeah, but it did have the SSF kit, Mikey. That's 500 more. So you're talking about 1,500 easily. And that it didn't have the special features unlocked. So this is a good deal. This is a really good deal. Okay, so let's continue reading. Hold on. I'm going to go back to it. Okay, so AtGames took back over the control of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pinball. Okay, they took them back from Sam's because they want to control it from here on out. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles HDP was developed by AtGames under the close exclusive guidance of a key retail partner in 2025. We know who that is. That's Sam's Club. Primary goal was to integrate the entire ALP 4K ecosystem, including the SSF Kit, App Store X, which is how you download your games on AtGames Pinball devices, OTG, which is how you can connect a PC or even other things to it and play remotely using the controls from the pinball, and Pinball Net into a new, more affordable platform. And also, the original HD Pinball was getting kind of long in the tooth. This is kind of the natural upgrade from the HD Pinball. The HD Pinball didn't have a DMD screen. This has a DMD screen. And it has the bigger body and the wood of it. The whole body of it is the same as the 4KP. And then the back glass is a little bit smaller, more like the HD, but with a DMD. The screen is a little bit, I don't know why, but it is a little bit brighter than the 4KP as far as the screen on the HDP. But it was just a good, affordable upgrade. This is not for people that have a 4K, I don't think so much, as it's for people that want to get a virtual pinball cabinet at affordable level where they can play competitively and they can join things like Flipper Friends. They can download tables. It's easy mode. You just put them on the machine. No fuss, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you right now, I'm going to give you some scoops down the road, but Zen is definitely still in a partnership with AtGames. And, you know, the whole idea, I'm not sure why they're keeping it so close to their vests, because I've already seen some things that I know are coming. Let's look at Carlo's comment, and I'm going to go back to this. We currently have 68 Zens currently. I would like to see Star Wars, Aliens, and Doom down the road. I would love to see all those too. Those are all great tables. Probably licensing difficulties, but they're good tables. You want to get Star Wars, AtGames needs a bigger user base. It's that simple. And that's why they're going to go to 3 platforms eventually, because they need a massive user base. And the only way to do that is to pull in from all areas. Pull in from the super high end, pull in from the middle, pull in from someone that just wants to spend $300 and have a nice little tabletop pinball. So they're firing on all cylinders. But 68 Zens currently, which is a lot. And Ray De La Torre says it's super expensive to ship heavy things. And let me tell you what, these pinballs, especially when you get the SSF kit in it, they are not light. They are not as heavy as a real pinball, but this is not a toy. I mean, it is a toy in some ways, but it's heavy like a real pinball. Like, you can't just like tap it and shake it. It has a little bit more realistic pinball feel because of the weight. Also, gas is going to be crazy, so the shipping is going through the roof. I mean, I bought some hot dogs, buns, and a few other things at the grocery store. I walked out, I spent $40. I was like, where'd my money go? You know, everything is more expensive anymore. I don't care what it is. Shipping is crazy. Food prices are crazy right now. I mean, between shrinkflation and I feel like everyone, everything's getting more expensive, Bliss 2121 says he's in Canada. It cost him a fortune to get the micro. And we have the tariffs too. So there's a lot of factors going on. We have a fantastic staple of the home arcade community of AtGames Pinball. My good friend T. McCloskey, who I did a long-running show called the Arcade Talk Show with, is here. And I'm so glad T is here because he knows the history of AtGames Pinball. And it's funny, these new bucks, they want to say there was no one made pinball reviews before they started doing them. I think that is the most big-headed thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, before I even started, there were people doing it. I mean, so I think that's just ridiculous that someone would say it. Before I started, there were people like Crow Continuum, Digital Victory, but saying that you're the person that started AtGames Pinball YouTube content is very, very boastful to me. And I have a big channel, and I don't rub in anyone's face, but I got there through 4 years of grinding 3,400 videos on 3 different channels. So, Arcade Talk and me, we paid our dues. This YouTube gig is not new to us. And we kind of grinded our way here from nothing. So it's funny that there are people that want to give us absolutely no credit as being a factor in AtGames when all we've wanted to do is just love AtGames. We actually play the games. We play these arcades, we play the pinball, and we don't need a new one or a new story every week to make it relevant because we're there for playing the games. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me close that. How do I close that? Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, we're not the first people doing this. We're not the last, but we've been doing YouTube content for a while. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Mikey. Appreciate that. Once again, I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't claim to be. I don't want to be. I think most people that watch me because I'm just an average Joe. And this is my take on AtGames Pinball. That's what people watch me. That's my secret sauce. So let's get back to this chunk of information and decipher it all. Okay. TMNT HDP was developed by AtGames under close exclusive guidance of a key retail partner. Primary goal was to integrate the entire ALP 4KP ecosystem, including SSF, App Store X, downloadable games, OTG. Bring your own game. That means you can run arcade games on it. You can run all kind of stuff on it because there's a whole system for that. Into a new and more affordable platform. Strategic initiative was designed to mitigate tariff impacts and address more market affordability challenges. We are grateful to have invested in secured contractual commitments for all of our 4KP content providers to bring selected content to the new HDP line. So they invested. It means they paid for and secured contractual commitments to bring games, the games that AtGames has on their pinballs to the HDP. Let's read this in closely. HDP represents a true win-win scenario for our content partners, accelerates expansion of hardware of the installed base, creating a larger, more vibrant market for their exceptional games, for the Zen Studio games. You want to get bigger games, they need more people. They need a bigger base. That's why the HDP is a good choice. It makes a lot of sense. You think about it. I mean, you want to build a base? We're talking about a pinball machine with the SSF kit for $1,200 plus shipping. that is a phenomenal deal. I mean, that is a phenomenal deal for someone just getting into AtGames Pinball, in my opinion. Let's see. We got the secret sauce. Yeah. Hey, we got Saiyan Spirits here. Thank you so much. Yeah, you did really good. That's a good score. I mean, single quarter runs are hard. We got Wingo here. Good to see you. Wingo saying hello to T. We got Ichabod Crane. I have not said hello to him. Hello, Ichabod Crane. And he knows we're gamers. Ichabod Crane was all over the IRK leaderboards. He's a true gamer, and that's the kind of people I like to hang with are people that play the arcades, people that play the pinball machines, the players. Those are the people I like to hang with. The Turtles deal is actually pretty good with the SSF kit. I agree. T. McCloskey's dropping some heat. Thank you, T. McCloskey. And let me hit you up with a quick one. It's 30 seconds for T. McCloskey.
I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you.
It's all those droids' fault. I'm so innocent and defenseless. Could you let me go?
Send her to my chambers.
Okay, getting back to the news. So right now, all that I'm talking about is the HDP, the reason why they have an HDP, why did AtGames take them back, what is going on with HDP. AtGames is going to have that deal, which is a great deal. $1,200, HD Pinball, 4K performance. It is the smoothest running pinball machine they offer for $1,200. Okay. And I got to make this big so I can read it. 1 second. Got to go back to this. Okay. Building on the success of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles HDP exclusive at Sam's Club, the broader retail market now views the HDP's $1,200 price point as a highly attractive offering. In response, we are actively supporting national retailers by adding the Addams Family HDP to their Q4 2026 lineup, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles HDP. We'll provide further updates on availability soon. So they're going to have a Addams Family, which is a Zen Studios game, and we know that the 4KP, what did it launch with? The Addams Family. All the home arcade channels were like, that's all they're going to get is Addams Family. They're not going to be able to get anything else. And now we have, like I said, we have all the great games. It just takes time. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes time to do it. So Addams Family is proof that Zen Studios is going to be coming to the HDP. 100% proof. Because you can't have Addams Family without having Zen Studios. Literally says Zen Studios on the cabinet. So, I mean, it's going to happen. Addressing recent industry speculation, we confirm that retailers have been reviewing and guiding our development of our next generation 4KP. We're going to shift gears. Okay. Before I do that, let me check in with the chat. Does anyone have a question on the HDP? Okay. Let me just check in with the chat because I'm kind of juggling a few things. I have a couple windows open. TM, those are the droids you're looking for. That is right. Smoke them if you got them. Welcome to the stream, Steps Gaming. Steps Turbo Show. I'm sorry. But we all love Steps. Steps is a great YouTuber. Known Steps for a long time. Once again, you talk about legitimate gamers, people that play games, that just will show up and play. They love video games. Steps Turbo Show, her channel, it's all about the love of video games. That's why I'm a huge fan. That's why I'm subscribed. I'll always be subscribed. And I'm always going to shout out Steps Turbo Show. Because, once again, the spirit and the heart is in the gaming. Just like Papa Brad, the spirit and the heart is in playing pinball. I'm now in the top 10 pinball players on AtGames in the world. in the top 10. And I worked myself from the bottom up to that. I learned how to play. I watched people like Mad Ben Han, Tomato Grass, and they taught me how to play these the games, Yeah, Steps Gaming. Sorry, I keep calling it Steps Gaming. It's Steps Turbo Show now. But Steps played games today, Kristen Steps is legit. That's why she always is welcome on my shows, because she's just a gamer, and that's what I respect. I respect people that play games, not people that talk a bunch of trash and they can't even drop a score in Cubert, and I can walk in and single quarter drop it and annihilate them. Not people like that. People that are actually gamers, people that are not afraid to actually just show up and play a game. Exactly. Getting back to the AtGames. Okay. So I think we've covered the HDP, the reasoning of it. I think it's all very logical, and there's no better time than now. If you do want to pick up an HDP, if you're looking at the middle level, now this isn't the entry level, still going to be the micro, which they're going to try to keep around $250 to $300 on sale. And that's a nice little machine for that kind of money. You can't go wrong. But the mid-level is going to be the HDP. That's going to be the middle. The new middle, I think, Let's see if I had it here. Yeah. And this was the deal. You get $1,200. You get $500 SSF kit, advanced features in the pinball net. So I didn't show this when I talked about Make Trax, but here's the flyer for Make Trax. We're playing Make Trax this week, which is a Williams arcade game. Really fun game. Classic 1981 arcade. Fantastic game. If you get a chance this week, drop a score and Make Trax. It's a lot of fun. This week in the Retro Legends Arcade, of course, we've got Supersonic. We've also got the classic arcade game from the 80s, 1981's finest, Make Trax. Fantastic Williams Maze game. Great one to explore, fun one to score chase. See you this week on the leaderboards for the Retro Legends Arcade. Let's go. 100% we'll do some content on Make Trax, also known as Crush Roller. This is a nice deep cut arcade game. A lot of people don't know about it. It's a lot of fun. But I promise that's the last time I'm going to plug Make Trax. But I just hope some people play it and check it out, because it is a lot of fun. So we're talking about the Zen Studios and the new AtGames Pinball news. This is the big article, though. This is the hot stuff here. This is the big stuff. Let's talk about the feasibility of a pinball that is actually higher end than the 4KP. I'm going to read what they said, then I'm going to add what I think. Now, keep in mind, I don't speak for AtGames. I love AtGames products. I play the games. I'm in the top 10 players in the world at AtGames Pinball. But I don't work for AtGames. They just send me stuff to review. I review it. I put it on my channel. And they respect that. They've never, ever told me what to do as far as, that I have to, on my videos on how I review stuff. I can review it however I want. But in general, I love arcade games and pinball. So let's go back to it. Okay, let's talk about the new pinball. Keep in mind, AtGames history is that sometimes products come to market, like the 4KP. Sometimes they don't, like the Killer Instinct arcade, which they ended up scrapping. And I think it was wise to scrap that and go with a higher end pinball. So I think a higher end pinball has a future. I don't think a mid-level arcade is that much of a difference for a lot of people. But let's read about what this article says from this Facebook post, which is how AtGames really communicates. Addressing recent industry speculation, we confirm that retailers have been reviewing and guiding our development of next generation 4KP since 2025. They want to target a $3,000 price point. Labs based on the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 capable of delivering robust pinball play at 144 hertz and a 4K play field have existed since 2025. Work is also underway with models utilizing a Snapdragon 8 Elite, incorporating feedback and guidance from retailers eager to sponsor and champion this growth. So they're looking at, oh, and we got a super chat here. RIP to the great Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is a legend. And for sure, this one's for Chuck. Okay, back to the article. So, a $3,000 AtGames Pinball. I know it sounds crazy. I remember when they said they were going to do the 4KP, and it was the early bird starter price, I want to say, was maybe $1,000 or $1,100. And people said they were crazy for doing that price point, which was, we saw over time that had to go up because of all the things happening in the world. But a lot of people got the 4KP, and I'm going to be honest, it could not deliver the 4K Zen tables. It's just not powerful enough. The processor couldn't handle it. It took a while for the Zen games to even play where they were very smooth and super fun to play. So, it took a while, and they had to work with Magic Pixel to get the 4KP to where it was at a acceptable level, especially for people that love competitive playing pinball. So we have heard things from Zen Studios, like on the Blockade podcast. They want someone to make the ultimate machine. They want a machine that can run 4K easily. So, the 4KP from AtGames shot, it was like, what's that myth where they try to fly too close to the sun, but the wings were made of the wax? They wanted to reach the sun, but they didn't have the right wings. They didn't have enough power. The single board computer they used was not going to have enough power to be able to run Zen Studio games in 4K. Now, it could run Magic Pixel and Zaccaria pinball games in 4K. Icarus, thank you so much. Yes, it's like Icarus. But when you look at the design of the 4KP, they listen to the users. And I know there's certain people that hate AtGames, and they're Karens. They're going to do nothing but complain no matter what comes out. They're going to look for the negative and everything. Because let's face it, negative is views on YouTube. Positive never gets views. You're going to get less views with positivity. You'll get more views by being negative. It's just a fact. That's the way YouTube works. And I don't play that game, but that's why you're going to have certain people. They're going to be Karens. No matter what comes out, they're not going to like it. They're going to complain. They're going to be unhappy. Okay. So going back to my story with how I think AtGames handled this. I think AtGames felt they had to hit a certain price point when they designed the 4KP. They wanted to be in that $1,000 to $1,200 price point initially when they dropped it. And the problem is the computer you needed to run Zen Pinball had to be very powerful. Zen Studios Pinball is a resource hog as far as the graphics power it needs. And people that knew a lot about pinball, digital pinball, even like people like the Rexer show, for example, said there's no way, because it just simply wasn't powerful enough. And that's the reasoning for making a $3,000 pinball. And I know people are going to be like, well, I have a 4KP. They're not saying they're abandoning the 4KP. That's not what they're saying. There was a want for something even higher end. It's like, do we want to spend 10 grand on a custom pinball? That's what you're going to pay. 10 grand. Do you want to pay $10,000 for a video pinball machine? Because that's the next level. There's really, even at the $3,000 level, there's really very little competition. There's almost nothing at that price level. I mean, it goes from the 4KP on up to about $5,000 to $10,000 easily, because the machines that can run these pinballs at 4K, I mean, they're just very, very expensive machines. They're going to use a PC. They're going to be locked down. And it's just my new channel's name is No Karen Gaming. That's right. Well, you know what I'm saying? There are certain people, like, you know, they just can't appreciate the good in anything, right? And they'll look for any kind of negative and they'll just latch on to it. But, you know, I think this is a logical thing for AtGames to do. And here's the thing, too. Let me just read the actual finish, and then I'll continue talking about it. Okay, so they're talking about having a $3,000 pinball with a higher end chipset, MediaTek Dimensity 9300 or a Snapdragon 8 Elite that can run 4K pinball. Now, I'm going to say this to AtGames right now. Fool me once, shame on me. You know, we never got the 4K pinball with the AtGames 4KP. 4K was in the name. We didn't get it because the hardware was not strong enough to do. We did get it with Magic Pixel, but not with Zen Studios. And a lot of people bought the 4KPs. Let's face it, for Addams Family. Addams Family was the marquee titles, probably their most popular. Addams Family and Attack from Mars are probably some of their most popular selling 4KPs. Okay. So they put out the machine, you know, through a long process. The games were fixed. They were made way better than they were before. They're still not as smooth as something like Pinball Effects VR that's running that faster chipset. So if they want to move to the next level, they need a whole new chipset. They need a higher refresh rate monitor, and they need new hardware. And, you know, work is underway with models utilizing Snapdragon 8 Elite, incorporating the feedback guides from retailers eager to sponsor and champion its growth. Who would be chomping at the bit for a video pinball that strong? Zen Studios. Duh. I mean, it's right there. You can just read between the lines. Mel Kirk himself said the hardware was not powerful enough. What does Zen Studios want? They want a machine that's a beast that can easily run their pinballs in 4K. We are on a roadmap vision that is not a story of replacement, but a progressive expansion and legacy. Original ALP launched at Sam's Club in 2020. The legendary success that started it all, winning out from among an amazing competitive landscape and laying the foundation upon which everything we built today stands. There you go. They're saying that the ALP, you know, it kind of was the backbone of AtGames. And people still love the ALP. I mean, I loved my ALP. I do like the HDP. I feel like it's a logical upgrade. Like if I was to say what the next level is, HDP is the smoothest playing AtGames Pinball. Now, it doesn't have all the things the 4KP has, but as far as the games, they run the smoothest on it. Continues to receive our full support as the innovative ALP Micro that followed. So they're saying they're not abandoning the original ALP. They're not abandoning the Micro. But they want to add something above the 4KP. And I feel like the HDP, it will be the replacement for the original ALP is going to be replaced by the HDP. That's just the way it's going to go. There is no AtGames Legends Pinball ALP being made anymore. It's going to be an HDP machine. And why wouldn't they? It's a better machine. It's got the DMD screen. It's got the better chipset like the 4KP has. And it runs the games the smoothest out of any other pinball machines. This expanding ecosystem now includes the HDP series, which opens new entry points for players seeking an exceptional value. HDP is, in my opinion, is a good mix between performance and price. You know, at $1,200 with an SSF kit, it is a great price. Looking ahead, the next generation 4KP will soon arrive as our new flagship for those demanding the absolute pinnacle performance. Keep in mind, we're talking about this will be competing with the machines that are more in the $5 to $10 grand level. Because there's like the next jump above an AtGames 4KP with an SSF kit is a huge jump. It's going to be the price of a real pinball machine. And a lot of people say, well, why wouldn't I just buy a real pinball? Because you have one game. That's all you can play on a real pinball. You play one game. It's better. You know, nothing will replace mechanical pinball, but it's not a vpin. You can't play hundreds of games on it. Okay, so we're going to continue reading. 4 platforms, each serving distinct and honoring legacy that began in 2020, will coexist, innovate, and grow together, united by a thriving ecosystem. Okay, so that was the big release. I'm going to go back to the chat. I'm sorry. I have to switch windows to do that because my old eyes can't read the screen. I know I'm old. That's why my name's Papa Brad. Okay. My power is about to go out. Spill the beans, Papa. Okay. Do I think Zen is coming to the HDP? 100%. 100% it's coming to HDP. I don't know about $3,000 for any game's product. I don't know. $3,000. You know, when they moved to the 4KP, they said no one would buy a 4KP. And what happened? People got them and they liked them. You know, people like them. I mean, I don't see any reason why they couldn't make a $3,000 pinball. The problem is, like Carlos said, if they would have used FX3, they might have been able to use this chipset. FX3, but the FX uses the Unreal Engine, which is a resource hog. It requires, I mean, even when I go OTG, my computer I'm running to run my tables is like $1,500. So that's the problem. When you get high resolution, it's something that has to have a buttery smooth frame rate, you need to spend some money. And that's why that's why they want to go with a model above the 4KP. You know, they could push every bit of performance out of the 4KP that they can. But at a certain point, you just need to get faster hardware. I just wish AtGames was more transparent with what they've told us. I agree. I feel like the marketing is tough. You know, they do need better marketing. Mm-hmm. I totally disagree on this because the spokesman just becomes a target. I mean, anytime these home arcade companies get a spokesman, they just become a gigantic target for people that, quite frankly, they're just looking for the negative. I mean, any of these people that become a spokesman for an arcade company, you're setting yourself up to be a huge target. People like to argue about these toys, and it's just the way it is. I mean, so I don't think they need a spokesman. I think, but what they're doing is they need to communicate more frequently and more evenly on Facebook if that's what they're choosing to use. Let me go back to Nick here. Let's get his opinion because this is a live stream. I want to hear what your opinions are. Type in the chat. Start typing. We're having a discussion about all the new AtGames news. A $3,000 AtGames high-end pinball. And currently what's going on with them in Zen Studios. ALP was amazing compared to the 1-up stuff. However, the 4KP needed to be released with no lag with Zen. Upgraded previous tables to run better and being open with the customers instead of hiding issues. I don't think they realized that it was going to be as hard as it was. I think they underestimated the difficulty. Mainly because if you think about AtGames history, their mainstay for the ALP was Gottlieb and Zaccaria pinball, Magic Pixel, Zaccaria, and Gottlieb. And none of those games are really very resource hungry. They ran fine even on the original ALP. So I think they just totally underestimated the kind of power they would need to have to do Zen Studios Pinball. But that's why this news direction, I think, is the correct direction. If you're primarily a pinball guy, you can learn tables on a vpin. That's 100%. You know, the way I got into playing pinball was I went to an arcade convention. I went to the Houston Arcade Expo. And while I was there, pinball people are cool. If you're a player, if you love to play, you can't fake it. Your eyes light up. They know you love gaming. They know you love pinball. They know, and then what they told me is if you want to get good at these games, you got to get virtual pinball and learn the rules of the games. Then the games, you see them in a whole way different after you learn the game. And that's true. You know, now when I play something like Twilight Zone or Addams Family, I know what I'm doing and I love it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And you can only do that on a vpin. You can switch between all the different games. You know, my opinion with AtGames, and I've told them directly, the whole thing about putting the features behind a paywall, I've told them directly, I'm totally against it. I think they shot themselves in the foot big time. They should have never done that because, you know, that is a whole different category of user. The person that wants to put VPX on a pinball table and play, you know, they got to think of it as more like a PC and less like a console. It's not really a console. I mean, this is like a hobbyist type device. And AtGames always knew that. That's why they allowed to play arcade games on, like I got, you know, on their arcade unit. You know, it's great. You can put all kind of games on it. I think they underestimated the 4KP, and I think this will be what the 4KP should have been. That's my opinion. I wouldn't use that exact terminology, but I do agree with you. I think they underestimated the I agree with that. The Facebook policy is not good. Then if they just want to release statements, which is what they want to do, maybe Facebook is not the perfect platform for them. They really need maybe like a website, like what Zen does, and then do official press releases. Maybe that would be a better way for them to go forward rather than use Facebook. I don't know. I'm not a marketing person, but if you're not looking for user feedback, you'd be better off doing press releases. You know, I think them using Facebook for news releases is probably part of the problem. I think they're 100% capable of making a $3,000 pinball, but this time it has to deliver, and it has to deliver true 4K, and it needs to be smooth, you know. And let's face it, it has to be, if people, they want people to want this, the people that love AtGames Pinball, it's going to have to really deliver. Because if it's not much better than the 4KP, it's not going to be a success. That was for price, Mikey. They had to hit that around that $1,000 to $1,100, $1,200 price. So you can't really do that with the Zen Studios platform. I do wish that Zen Studios and AtGames had a better relationship, just like Rayla De La Torre is saying here. Seems like one hand doesn't know what the other one's doing, or even if they're in perfect sync behind the scenes, publicly, they're not on the same page. Like they just got to publicly get back on the same page. We got Nick Subject. He loves both vpins and real tables. Can't afford real tables, so the vpin is a good middle ground rather than just a console. And I agree, that's where I'm at too. Like I'm just a working class Joe. I'm a public school teacher. I can't go out and buy $15,000, $10,000 pinballs. Even a $3,000 or $4,000 pinball is a lot. It's a lot of money for me. I'm just not a wealthy person. I mean, I could possibly have a few good video pinball machines. Yeah, well, I mean, people are already paying that, Mikey. People are paying that for these other machines. People are paying 10 grand. So, I mean, there is a market out there for a higher end, higher than the 4KP pinball. 4KP pinball, I'm going to be honest, I do love it. But, you know, some people, once they get the 4KP and they really love it, they want just like the next level. They might not want to spend 10K, you know, or 5K, you know. Yeah, I understand. PG, I understand that thought exactly, though, but your 4KP is not going to be worthless. You can sell your 4KP and get a good amount for it. I mean, as much as I played my ALP, I still sold it, and I think I sold it for like $550. And so you can sell these machines. They have a value. Whether you have a 4KP, even the ALP has a value. You know, and it was quick. You know, Facebook Marketplace is your friend. You know, hold your guns, get your price. You know what you got. Don't take a low ball offer. You know, but you know, I like that they're going to continue having a pinball machine that you can do OTG with, that you can do all the features that I like about AtGames, maybe with a higher quality or a higher level. I think there is a market for that. Let's go back to Nick. It sounds like Nick knows a lot about pinball. I like his comments. I've been reading a bunch of them, but realistically, $3K for an upgraded system isn't expensive compared to full builds. However, they need to add SSF Kit standard and not as an extra, and then maybe a bigger screen, like a 43-inch would be nice. I do agree. Even a little bit of a screen upgrade in size, closer to full size, but not maybe completely full size. And I feel like, I mean, the SSF Kit has to be in it. Once you play an AtGames Pinball with the SSF Kit, there's no going back to not having it. It's that much better. It completely changes the experience. So, absolutely. Absolutely. And you have a beautiful machine. It's all custom. And, you know, they're not going to discontinue support for the 4KP. They're not saying we're going to stop the 4KP. And just to put it to rest, too, the whole Zen Studio thing is ridiculous, because Zen Studios is going to release a pinball table for the 4KP within the next week. And it's one that people don't expect. And I know for a fact, because it's been confirmed, that they're going to have a Zen Studios pinball game. One that we don't have, one that people will not expect to be coming, is going to come to the 4KP. And no one's going to, you know, I know that for a fact. So the Zen Studios games are going to continue coming to the 4KP. And to be honest with you, I would rather they try to get them the best they can be before they push them out. Because once they push them out, the Karens are going to start whining. So I'm saying just get them as good as you can before you release it. It's nothing worse than when they release something where it doesn't work. And now, you know, I'm not going to throw Magic Pixel under the bus, but when they put out that Magic Castle Deluxe, they shot themselves in the foot. They took a fun game. That's actually a really fun game. They released it broken, and now that game never really caught on like it should have, because they botched the launch. You know, I'd rather have games that work right. Take the time to get it right, then release it. You know. And it's funny, some of the problems that people complain about with the AtGames Pinball, it's on all Zen Pinball. Like the sound, on a lot of the platforms, it's exactly the same. And they're complaining about it. It's crazy. We got 8 to 10K as a high-end build here in Canada, but it's got everything. And I'm sure at that 8 to 10K, you're going to get more than you're going to get for $3,000 for sure. Once again, AtGames, they're trying to make an affordable upper end pinball, something a little bit better than the 4KP, but it's not $8,000 to $10,000. It's not the price of a real pinball. So, Wingo, someone I really respect, he says the new machine needs to have a bigger display for him to consider it. That is something I think they should look at, maybe having a bigger display. Next subject, I sold my ALP for $1,100 in June 2025 when I picked up the 4K here in Canada. That's what I'm saying. Like, stick to your guns. I sold mine on Marketplace, and I just stuck to my guns. There are people that tried lowballing me, but I just stuck to my guns, and I got my money, and it was no problem. Did I sell it overnight? No, but I sold it. I don't think they're going to make it extra. I think it will probably be part of it, because if it's a premium pinball, you're going to want that SSF kit. They should not even price it without the SSF kit, because if you're talking premium, the premium is a must. I mean, you can't even talk about a premium AtGames pinball without having the SSF, which is one of the best things they came up with in their design. We got Pete here. He says, I agree there may be a market for this, but personally, I'm not interested in that market. I understand that too. I mean, like, what got me into AtGames Pinball was it was affordable. They launched when the home arcade thing was huge, and they wanted to, they were looking at more like just competing with the arcade went up. And, I remember when the 4KP came out, people said it would never fly because of the price. And it is scary because it's a lot of money, Just make them 2K and it'll be fine. The problem is the $2,000 price point is not going to give you something that's going to run Zen in 4K. Not the way that Zen codes their tables. So they're at the mercy of needing a machine that's powerful enough to run Zen Pinball, which is what people want at 4K. It's not going to be cheap. Like I said, just to run OTG, which is not fantastic, it's okay, but my computer's $1,500. It's a high-end gaming computer. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll have to wait and see. And I don't know, will you have to buy new tables? Probably. I mean, but then again, this is a higher end product, Yep. Just take the time and get them right. Ray Latorre says a 43-inch play field would be awesome. And I just think it's an interesting option, That's my take on this news. But also, you heard it here. There will be a Zen Studios table coming for the 4KP coming up. It might even be released right now or tonight or this weekend on their Facebook. But there's something coming. So that's going to make all these people that have been doing all the speculation look kind of silly, because all along it was coming. Let me reload this, see if they put it up yet. Boom. You saw it here live. Wrath of the Elder Gods Director's Cut. Brand new Zen Studios game. No one saw this one coming. Wrath of the Elder Gods is coming. Can I play this? You can hear this. You hear this? I don't know if you hear it or not. Wrath of the Elder Gods Director's Cut. March 25th, brand new Zen Studios. You just heard it here. Okay. They're saying, yeah, I think it is because it has the AMA, which is their adult rating. saw it right here. Zen Studios Pinball coming to the 4KP. No, absolutely not. Hold on a second. How do I pause this? Too many windows open. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it. Well, there you go. There you go. It's out now. Wrath of the Elder Gods Director's Cut. Put a thumbs up on that. Close that. Okay. So there you go. Zen Studios continuing to come to the 4KP with a table that no one even knew was coming. Wow. When I play VPX, I cut the apron off to make the play field bigger. I would like a bigger screen. I'm with you, Ray. That would be one of the things I would like. They had Earthshaker ready, but Earthshaker, the sound isn't great. It's not even good on the regular Zen Studios on their own on any of the other tables. So that was not the table to release. So yeah, that's personal preference. I mean, I understand. I mean, the Zaccaria tables, Magic Pixel tables have really grown on me as I've played more and more virtual pinball and AtGames. But you know, some people really like the Zen tables more. You know. Yeah, who's saying they're not going to bring those, Mikey? Nothing says they're not going to bring them. They didn't say they're not coming. Here's the thing. They did not say they're not coming to AtGames. You know, they got to port this stuff. It doesn't happen overnight. Nick Subject, Arcade 1UP got smoked. OTG alone killed them, let alone more games being released, even on the old ALP. And they're still releasing games on the old ALP. But AtGames needs to increase their user base. It's like if we want to get the really expensive licenses, we need a big base. How can you build a big base? You got to expand the platform. That means you have to have an entry level, a medium, and an ultra high end, or some form of that. And they do have a pretty good unified system between the machines where tables can be sent out like to multiple platforms. 43-inch would be awesome in the next 4KP for us fat bastards. I do agree. Get me that 43-inch. But one thing for sure, it just needs to be bigger than the original 4KP, and a higher refresh rate on the monitor would be things that would be good. Okay, so there you go. You saw it right here live. It happened. And we saw that more Zen Studios games are now coming to the 4KP. And I know that there are more that they have ported, but this will be the next one we get, which will be good. So let me go back to my my things. And there's lots of ways to play pinball right now, you know. I mean, that's a good thing, you know. You're not really limited. Next thing I want to talk about with AtGames, let's talk about the Flipper Friends. And I think I had something for that. Where is that? Right here. Okay, Flipper Friends. If you don't know what Flipper Friends is, it's a free tournament that AtGames does. If you have any AtGames pinball. Now, I did talk to them about the micro. Some people with the micro are having problems with their scores uploading. They are aware of it. They've been made aware of it, and it is something that they are working on behind the scenes. So, like if you're having problems uploading a score to Flipper Friends and you have a micro, they do know about it, and they're looking into it. I talked to AtGames today. This is a weekly tournament. Every week we get 3 new tables that are shared between the entire AtGames pinball platform. So these are going to be games that'll be able to be played anything from a micro to the 4KP. So they're available on all platforms. Why is this good? It's a big group of players. If you want to be the best, you don't want to be the best of 6 or the best of 12. You want to be the best of, a large group. It's more competitive. It's more fun. AtGames also has a new program coming out for kids called the Flipper Friends Junior League. This is going to be for younger people to play pinball, to introduce the younger generation to playing pinball competitively. You want to have someone that can give Mad Ben Han a challenge eventually. We need to bring up some young pinball players that love pinball. Right now, it's season 2, week 7. AtGames Flipper Friends. And these will be the tables that they're also being run parallel on my channel. So you can play them on my channel and drop scores, but you can also drop your score in Flipper Friends. Why would you want to put in Retro Legends? It's a good way to keep track of your scores permanently. So if you want to keep track of what your personal best is, it's just, I like it. It's a fun way to play the game. We have a small community of players that love to play. It's completely open. It's free. Just click on a link in the description of the video if you want to drop a score. If not, that's fine too. But it's there if you want to use it. So let's check out the Flipper Friends games for this week.
Quantum multi-ball. Jackpot.
There you go. They're the games for this week. Also on my leaderboard, you can drop scores if you want to. Completely up to you. But it is free and it's there if you want to play. Current top 10 in IFPA ranking for AtGames Pinball. Number 1, Mad Ben Han. Number 2, Tomato Grass. Number 3, Skull Joe. Number 4, Wizard 626. Number 5, 6-String Pin. Number 6, Fail 3. Number 7, The Real Creamer. Number 8, our very own Sacro, who's been playing in the Retro Legends arcade since I started the show. Congratulations, Sacro. He did move up into 8th. Spartacus, number 9. Papa Bread still holding on to being the 10th best AtGames player in the world. Current last week's standings. Tomato Grass 1, Sirlu 2, Skull Joe 3, Wizard 6264. 4. This is from last week's Flipper Friends. 6-String Pin, Sacro with a great score of 6. Right in the middle of the top 10. One of our champions here of Retro Legends Arcade. We have the return of Chilada Love at 7. And Pinball Wizard at 626. And Soggy Bacon 9th. Papa Brad holding on to that 10 spot. That's official top 10 IFP ranked players in the world at AtGames Pinball right now. And shout out to everyone that played. Yeah, let me go to the next thing. By the way, we're playing Make Trax this week. So if you get a chance, play some Make Trax. Let me check in with the chat. Okay. Earthquake on VPX is incredible. That's one of the cool things about AtGames. You have options. You don't like that version, you can always OTG and play a different version. Play VPX with your computer, Or they have a standalone VPX, which I don't use that. I don't have that, but a lot of people have it, and I'm glad that they have it. I would never want it to be taken away from anybody. Expand the platform and make it more reliable. High score submission can be flaky at best. I do agree that is a problem and it is an issue. Just keep sending me anytime your scores don't, and I'm gonna forward them to AtGames. So they need to hear that from the top players. When your scores don't work, send it to me and I will contact them to give them a heads up, you know, when I heard people, I got a few comments, people saying the micro was having issues. It seems to be hit and miss though, because mine, I tried to drop a score and it dropped it, no problem. So yep. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mikey Yoon is, you know, really great player. But I like to play on everything. I like to play in VR. You know, Mikey Yoon's a good VR player. But, you know, pinball, I don't care about what you play on, you know. Enjoy what you have. You know, enjoy what you have. There's never been a better time to be into home arcade and playing pinball. Virtual pinball is the best it's ever been. You know, we have a ton of great ways to play. Now we're going to talk about the next thing I want to talk about is the brand new game that's coming out in AtGames. This is one of their hot new games. Let's take a first look at
Dispatch to Unit 713. Report of an unattended child.
713 to dispatch. Missing person located. They're safe.
All units 459. Burglary in progress.
713. Suspect in custody. 713. Training complete. Back on patrol.
Dispatch confirms. Patrol is live.
713. Copies. Moving out.
Precision combo. Hit the sinkhole to start mode.
All units. Bank robbery in progress.
713. Responding.
Hit the flashing ramps. Ball saved. Back on patrol. Hit the sinkhole to start mode. Precision combo. Hit the flashing targets. Ball saved. Keep moving. sinkhole to end mode.
713 reporting. Patrol complete.
There you go. Sweet little 4-minute look at the AtGames original. This is the same person that made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Scott Shelton, he made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pinball for the AtGames. He made Baby Shark and he made Firefighter Wildlands. This is his next table. And let me tell you, this is an amazing table. You saw a first look, exclusive look right here. Checking out Police Street Patrol. Come to AtGames, and AtGames Original. And these AtGames Originals so far have been consistently very good. So there you go. Not only are we getting Zen Studios, Wrath of the Elder Gods, we're getting Police Street Patrol, we're getting affordable pinball, $1,200 a pinball with an SSF kit, smoothest running machine they've ever made. I would say AtGames is doing just fine, in my opinion. They're doing just fine. Let me check in with the chat. Yeah, this table's fantastic. This is going to be one of those top tiers. I mean, it's going to be great. Everyone's going to love it. We're going to play it in Flipper Friends. It's the kind of table you don't mind playing for a week because it's fun, you know. That being said, let's take a look at what they released this week. Here's what they released this week. Does anyone have a question? I got the chat open here before. I want to talk about Supersonic EM+. EM+ games are a playground for people that are good at pinball players. The ball control on the EM+ tables, I think, is some of the best on AtGames Pinball. When you play these tables, I mean, once you get used to playing Magic Pixel tables, the ball control on those is really good. We have a fire. Now we have cops. Maybe paramedics will be next. You know, we got more stuff on the horizon. You know, people love to trash AtGames, but AtGames, they're doing stuff. I mean, they're keeping the schedule pretty much as it is so far. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will get an update on June 18th. It's projected. Remember, these can change, but these are the projected times. EM+ tables, in my opinion, are good for competitive play because they're hard enough that, you know, they really reward players that have good flipper skills. So I love using the EM+ tables for competition. And people can't play forever. I mean, some of the tables you can literally play forever, or you can have 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute. If you're Mad Bad Hand, you might be playing for over an hour or two. So, you know, I think these games that are a little bit harder are good for competition. And the thing with EM+ tables, every one of them, the table layout's different. The feel of the table is different, but the rules, you know. So you don't have to really learn the rules too much, but you do have to learn the table, how it flows, the layout. And each one, to me, feels different. But let's take a look at the pinball that released this week, which is going to be Supersonic EM+. And let me show that real quick. All right, everyone. Today we're checking out Supersonic EM+. This table is all about one thing: fast, fun pinball. This table's coming out and it will be available on all AtGames pinball platforms. Is this table going to soar like an eagle or just be a turkey? Stay tuned to find out. A huge thank you to AtGames who sent me this table for the purpose of review. Supersonic EM+. From the very first plunge, you can feel it. This is a high-speed, flow-heavy table that leans into that classic electromechanical style, but with just enough modern features to keep things fresh. It's simple to pick up, hard to put down, and yeah, definitely this game has that one more game factor. Jet Fighter theme fits perfectly. Everything feels quick, aggressive, and kinetic. Chaining thrust loops, stacking nosedives and jet bonuses, hitting those slingshots for big rewards. Game really pushes you to stay on the attack, especially with the spinner-based multipliers and the fast objectives, like Sky Hunter and Sonic Boom. What I really like here is the layout. It's clean, readable, and super approachable. Shots make sense, objectives are clear, and you're never confused with what to do next. There's still depth if you want to chase it, especially going after the 5 main objectives or working in the side goals like low wing and turbine shaft. In the rollover system, that's a standout. Building up the bonus balls, eventually juggling a multi-ball chaos in this table feels awesome when it all comes together. Now, it's not perfect. The biggest issue here is the DMD. Not showing the ball number or player number is a weird miss. It can make longer games, especially or multiplayer, feel a bit less polished than they should. I mean, this table is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous, especially in the 4KP. Having that basic DMD is a huge disservice to this quality of a table. But honestly, that's the main drawback. At the end of the day, Supersonic EM Plus delivers exactly what it promises: fast, addictive, retro-style pinball with a modern edge. If you're into classic gameplay with quick objectives and satisfying scoring loops, this one is definitely worth checking out. My final score, 8.5 out of 10. Fast, fun, and seriously addictive, just needs a little more polish on that DMD. Let's take a look at the back glass. Nice, you got some a little bulb animation going on there. Look at that, nice. Zaccaria Pinball, Magic Pixel, Supersonic EM Plus. Once again, these EM tables to me are a playground for good pinball players. The secret sauce, these red rollover lights. It's looking nice. Let's go up the play field. I like this element they got going on here with these 2 wire forms, which will get these red lights lit, but you gotta knock down those targets. That's a pretty cool element. Just pull back so you can see it good. So when you hit these 3, it'll take this loop. That'll allow you to safely get these rollover lights. This is a really well-designed table. Kudos to whoever designed this one. It's very interesting. You've got a cool loop that goes through the back here and rolls it back to the front. This is another way to get these difficult lights on the side just from having the ball bounce. And then it's like you got a pinball table, a whole pinball table, an upper play field here. And it's just a very simple but fun layout. You got a couple pop bumpers up, a couple bumpers up here into that red light. It's spelled Turbo Jet. Got a spot where the ball locks there. Very nice. It's very crisp. Looks great on this 4K. Cards are readable. I like it. I like the table design. It's good. Main weakness of this table is the DMD. I mean, that is just unacceptable. You look at how high quality everything else is, how gorgeous the artwork is, and then to have that DMD, it just really does the table a disservice of the overall presentation. What I'd really like to see is some kind of artwork that tells us the player and the ball number in this DMD nut area. It'd be super cool if it was custom for the AtGames, rather than just a generic like score bar like on Steam. But overall, good table design. I like it. Let's check out some gameplay. Here I got some multi-ball action happening. Start the multi-ball. You gotta roll over the 10 red rollover lights, and then you gotta do it again. So that's 10, then 10 again, and that gets the multi-ball going. In my opinion, the multi-ball, if you're score chasing these tables, that's where all the big points are going to be made. You want to get that multi-ball. Things start going really quick when you have that much action on the table, but you'll get a lot more points. So the multi-ball is worth chasing. Another thing I really like about this table, the top of the table is almost like a shooting gallery. I mean, you can keep the ball up there pretty long if you want to, and you've got lots of targets up there to hit. So there's like a mini game up at the top, which is kind of fun to play. I feel like these EM Plus tables are really great for competitive players. The shot accuracy and the ball control I have on the EM Plus tables feels about the best I've seen on AtGames Pinball. And I think these are perfect for competition. And I'm saying this as a top 10 ranked IFPA AtGames Pinball player. And I'm just really enjoying this series. Each game has a completely different flow. If they fix the DMDs, I feel like this would be one of my favorite categories of tables on the AtGames Pinball. But they gotta fix those DMDs.
Welcome back to the Pinball Bite. We have a big episode.
This week in the Retro Legends Arcade, of course, we've got Supersonic. We've also got the classic arcade game from the 80s, 1981's finest, Make Trax. Fantastic Williams Maze game. Great one to explore, fun one to score chase. See you this week on the leaderboards for the Retro Legends Arcade. Let's go. Okay, we're going to shift gears. Shift gears. We're going to talk about some Zen Studios Pinball Bites next. Been a very busy week with a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to look at this Pinball Bites stream that Zen Studios did this week as well. We'll look at that next. One more thing I want to say about the EM Plus tables. They are really good, fun tables. I am enjoying them. And if they fix the DMDs, I am going to score them a little higher because I really do like them a lot. If you like classic pinball, the EM Plus tables are very good. That's just my opinion. But you know what we love more than EM Plus tables, at least most pinball, at least I do personally? I love Williams Recreations. And they're going to talk about the Williams Recreation tables that are coming out next. And I will be able to talk over this video. So let's check this out. This is the Zen Studios Pinball Bites.
For you with important information about most of our games.
And we will reveal brand new Williams tables, some of which have never been recreated in the digital space.
Let's dive in.
Once again, they're teasing us with that Judge Dredd in the background. I was like, here comes Judge Dredd. Nope, we did not get Judge Dredd. It's just a tease.
Before we reveal the new Williams tables, we would like to start with an important update regarding Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Over the last couple of years, Pinball FX and Pinball LAM have continued to grow with more and more content. Supporting these platforms have become increasingly difficult for us. After careful consideration, we have come to the decision that future content will no longer launch on.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't get Judge Dredd with how much they can. They literally put the Judge Dredd pinball on the screen and they have it right next to him in all these streams. So I was surprised we didn't get Judge Dredd. But you know what? Best they take the time and get it right, because I don't want them to botch that one. You know, that's a good classic pinball. I love Judge Dredd. It's fantastic. It's got that 2000 AD comic art. Just a great table. Super fun multi-ball. I mean, Judge Dredd will be fire. The big news, of course, is that the consoles, they're pulling some support from some consoles that have long had Zen Pinball. PS4 is one of them. What's the other? Xbox.
PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And
Xbox One and PS4 are not going to get new Zen tables, it looks like.
Starting June 1, season support will also end.
Our development resources are stretched across platforms, and to keep delivering the quality and performance you expect from us, we need to focus our efforts on current generation hardware.
All previously purchased tables and online services such as events, tournaments, leaderboards and offline play will be unimpacted and continue to be available. The table packs will remain available in the store with one exception, but we'll talk about that later.
Unfortunately, this decision also extends to Zen Pinball World. This exciting project allowed us to bring our tables to new players. However, to bring the pinball genre to the next level, we need to focus our resources elsewhere.
It's important to note that just like for last-gen consoles,
maybe they're focusing their efforts into AtGames. That would make sense if AtGames wants them to port all these tables to a premium pinball and to the new HDP pinball. I agree. I will never understand this communication, how it works between AtGames and Zen Studios, but it does need to be more clear. I'm with you, Mikey.
those previously purchased tables and online services will be unimpacted, and tables will remain available in the store.
We know this may be disappointing for players on these platforms. We are very grateful that you supported us on our journey, and we wish you many high scores on your favorite tables.
Now, let's reveal our newest additions to the Williams Pinball library.
It is going to be fire.
And that's the thing I love, you know. I mean, there's so many ways to play pinball anymore. I mean, imagine playing diner in a diner, or where you have, you know, maybe a character next to you. I mean, I do love VR pinball. It's just, it's a cool way to play. It's not for everyone, but I do love when you get away from that flat screen. You know, VR is a pretty cool thing. This is a fun one. The Waybacks arcade, that's the biggest arcade in the South near where I live. They have this pinball, and this is a super. I actually really like this pinball. It's fun. The real pinball machine has a giant bell at the top of it, and when you play it, rings the bell like ding 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 ding. It's very cool. But they have this. It has a very cool effect too, where it looks like there's a fire in the middle of the pinball table. I think there's like maybe something that rolls and it gives like a fire effect, like the table's on fire in the middle. It's very cool. So I was really glad to see fire, because this is a table I've played on location at the Waybacks arcade. They have this machine. It's a pretty fun table. It's got a lot of ramps. It has this little wooden thing that pops up between the flippers when you start, where the ball can't drain. But it's made out of, I think it's made out of wood, if I remember right. I like it with the effects. Look at that. That looks awesome. And of course, we have another classic of the trilogy, Cyclone. Or Comet. What is this one? It's part of the trilogy.
Relive the golden age of pinball on Williams Pinball Volume 10.
This amazing collection brings 3 tables to life.
Yeah, Mikey, these are 80s tables. Like, you know, these are the older, like the older Williams pinball tables.
From the late 80s and early 90s.
Chase high scores and ride the rails on a Carnival Classic on Comet.
Race against time to put out fires and rescue civilians on fire.
And step into the charm of a classic American diner Well, on Diner.
Williams Pinball Volume 10 will come to
love
Pinball
all three of
FX
these.
on
These are fun
PC,
tables.
Xbox Series
Like
X
play.
and S, PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch, and to Pinball FX VR on April 30.
Get
Pinball Effects VR. We're getting these in VR. It's going to be awesome.
ready to play with the first ever official recreation of Fire and Comet along with the iconic Diner. You can wishlist the pack on Steam right now. Next up, we have an important update for you.
Due to licensing reasons, World Cup Soccer will be removed from the stores on April 30. It's important to note that players who purchase the table before its removal will be able to enjoy it without any interruptions.
World Cup Soccer is currently available in Pinball FX, Pinball FX VR, Zen Pinball World and AtGames Legends 4KP. We will aim.
So we're going to talk a little bit about World Cup Soccer. Since World Cup Soccer is going to be leaving, you definitely need to have this table. If you have not bought World Cup Soccer, what are you waiting for? Go out and buy it now. This is a great table, and it's not going to be available for much longer. So check it out. I got a 4-minute clip of World Cup Soccer, which is in the Retro Legends Arcade games this week. You can play it on any format. You can play it on AtGames 4KP. You can play it in VR. You can play it on your PC, on your console. You just shoot a picture of it after you play the game. Drop a score in our leaderboards. Here's a quick look at World Cup Soccer if you've never seen it before. It's a great game. World Cup Soccer Pinball captures the excitement and energy of the 1994 FIFA World Cup. The vibrant artwork, the sound effects, even the playfield design transports you right into the heart of the soccer action. It's like having a mini World Cup tournament in your own home. One of the standout features of this table is the gameplay mechanics. Here are a few reasons why the gameplay is so engaging. First and foremost, the goalie and striker mechanism in the center of the playfield is not just for show. It's a fun and challenging feature where you aim to shoot the ball past the goalie to score goals. It adds a layer of strategy and excitement that keeps you coming back for more. Multi-Ball Madness. This game offers multiple multi-ball modes, including the exhilarating Final Draw multi-ball. Multi-ball modes are a staple for high-scoring opportunities to add a thrilling and chaotic element to the gameplay on a pinball machine.
Social channels. For example, World Cup Soccer is 50% off in Pinball FX VR at the moment.
This also affects the Williams Pinball Premium Bundle, which will...
I'm sorry, I was muted. What are you doing? Get World Cup Soccer. World Cup Soccer is great. You got to get World Cup Soccer. It's one of the all-time great games, and it's going to be missing. It's going off of Zen Pinball. So definitely, it's a great time to be alive. We got all the great games. Absolutely. What do I think it's definitely coming. I think people told you AtGames has gotten every major Zen table for the most part. They're going to continue getting them. It's just a matter of time, especially with their future plans. You heard what their future plans are. If you were here, if you didn't hear it, rewind, listen to the earlier part of the stream. But AtGames isn't going anywhere. They got a lot of good plans. It's going to be exciting. And a big part of that plan is including the Zen Studios with AtGames.
will be reworked in the future without World Cup Soccer.
We would like to emphasize that this has nothing to do with Hungary not qualifying for this year's World Cup.
Joking aside, we wish you many high scores on the table.
There will be changes in our other games too.
In the upcoming weeks, we will start the rebranding process of most of our games so that they will be united under the same Pinball FX brand.
We felt that this was an important change to make in the future to streamline our communications, help the discoverability of our games, and to strengthen the brand of our pinball products.
This process will include the following changes. Pinball M will be renamed Pinball FX Midnight. Zen Pinball World will be renamed...
I think naming the Pinball M Midnight is a good idea because the M has a adult connotation, so that might be a good plan.
named Pinball FX Go, and Pinball FX 2 VR will be renamed Pinball FX Classic VR. These changes won't affect the functionality and availability of any of these games.
There are also changes coming to Pinball FX 3. The game has been released for almost 10 years now, and it is time for us to make some changes in order to let our new star shine.
The game and its DLCs will be removed from the PlayStation Store and the Nintendo Switch eShop, meaning it won't be discoverable for players. However, if you have the game in your inventory, this change won't affect you, as it will stay in your inventory and you will still be able to purchase tables in the in-game shop.
Unfortunately, we are not able to do this on Xbox and the Microsoft Store due to technical reasons, meaning that the game and its DLCs will be removed from the store in May. This means that acquiring these tables and the game won't
So basically, in short, if there's games you want, pick them up now before they're gone.
be possible in the future. We will share the exact date on our webpage after this Pinball Bites episode.
As for Steam, Pinball FX 3 will be renamed to Pinball FX Classic, and all its DLCs remain available to purchase. Our wonderful cabinet building community and other infrastructures, such as legacy bundles, rely heavily on this game, making it an important cornerstone of our pinball environment.
We would like to highlight that none of these changes impact the game's functionality, meaning that online services will continue to operate.
With the release of Williams Pinball Volume 10 in Pinball FX, we are also bringing a new community feature on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles.
You will have the chance to challenge your friends on the same platform to compete with your scores. You can either send them an invite to a specific tournament or event,
or challenge them for a duel. You can send this invite from the Game Mode Selector screen or from the results screen after achieving your dream score.
or any other score. These invites will appear amongst your notifications. If you are not interested in this new super cool feature, you will have the option to
Okay, well, so enough of that. So basically, new names, lots of cool things happening. Heard it here. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you dropped some scores this week on our leaderboards. That being said, that's the show for this week. Appreciate you. Smash that like button or smash that dislike button and tell me what I could do better. As always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you watching. But most of all, I appreciate you playing the games. Just be real, and enjoy the games. Love pinball, love arcade games. That being said, I'm out of here. Everyone have a great weekend. I'm ready to play some pinball. I've been waiting. Take it easy, everyone. I'll see you on the leaderboards. Let's go.
Well, Papa Brad's a game man. He's got passion in his soul. From pinball tables to Atari, he's always in control. He's a master of retrogaming, the old school style's his thing. With every flick of the joystick, you can hear the twang ting. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school living. From the classic arcades to the AtGames Pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit. He's a lover of the classics, the sound of pixelated beats. Late nights at the arcade with every game defeat. But he'll keep on pushing till he's reached that final stage. Papa Brad's the gaming legend. His passion never fades. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school rolling. From the classic arcades to the AtGames Pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit.